Okay, so we have this. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, this side kind of comes a bit weird, and I think I have to move it. Let's check. Yeah, I kind of have to move it until here, this point. Yeah, I think now it is in the right position. Okay. I don't understand. Cut. For some reason it was. So I have to keep this, let's say, defect for a while. Okay. Okay, now now I managed without breaking the model. That's a delicate part. Okay. Then the next step. Yeah, I think I need to do each section, let's say, separately. Each section has to be fought differently. So this, I think this time I'll try to do a reference plane, RP, to finish model, RP. Why does, I think it should be in L1 to do such RP. Let me check if I see it in 3D. No, I don't see it. I see only the grids. Okay, let's create a grid then. Uh, okay, let's go to L1, create a grid. Okay, no, it's not the right position. It's so lagging. Okay, so we, okay, and let's say this should be the reference view or something, or I will have this section, let's say, and this will be switched. Okay, and now I think I'll move this over here because I want to see how I do my profile. This, what's the number of the section? Section 2. Okay, so we are in 3D. We have this axis, let's say. I position myself over here, so I'll go to section 2, or let's say firstly I double click, I create the void sweep, select the path, only that side. Then I edit profile and I go into section 2, floor plan section, building, section 2. That's the only section. Okay. And now I have I can draw my profile. So I'll go until that point, this point, uh, this point, and this point. And now I should have, okay. It doesn't want to create. And doesn't want to exit. Okay, let's say I have this. Let's check. It's a chain of references. Okay. That means generally a chain of references that basically I'm cutting something that sort of is already cut or depends on something that is already created, or I don't know how to explain it. Let me think. I did an extrusion, I did then a void extrusion, and I do, let's say, another extrusion on the void extrusion, and that depends on something that doesn't exist. I don't know how to put it simply. So basically depends on one on the other. So let's say step 2 is related to step 1, step 3 is related to step 2, but step 4 is let's say related to step 1, let's say, but it also has to, but it should have been related to step 3. Mm. Yeah, I think a bit how to explain to you. In any case, I can't use this let's say method. I'll do undo, and I will fortunately sweep. And I think I'll use just extrusions in my case. Or let me check if I can create. I'll do some sort of trick. I'll still do a sweep, but this will be more limited. And at the start, and let's say I do a profile, doesn't matter the shape. This is sort of a gimmick. And hope it, no, it doesn't work. Okay, that's weird. I thought I create some mini triangle and then I use that face to have a, but it doesn't seem to work like that. We'll see which trick we have up on our sleeve. So let's see if I can try something else. Let's extend this void sweep. Pick path. And let's pick this as well. Will it do something? No, it has a fundamental error. Okay. Hmm. I think this kind of shape is difficult to work with generic models, even though it is good for printing, and I would need a bit more accuracy, and maybe massing would be a solution for this complicated case. But let me check some other methods. Okay, you don't want this. Okay, there are some other methods. Okay, let's create something else. Create a void extrusion, set this plane, and let's see. I will. Oh, but the slope should be something like here. Okay, we'll see. So I will have this, I think. This will be the actual shape, and then it will be something like described here. Okay. And now I think it should work. Finish model. But it cut something, my friend. Okay. Cut. Mm. Okay, it has cut, as I said. Great. Great. Okay, so now I have my front whatever. And now uh, I think I need to use a gimmick. So this modeling will be difficult and will use many gimmicks and tricks up my sleeve, which come from my, let's say, experience. Okay, and now I need. So generally, sweeps are good for following shapes, but sometimes they are problematic because sometimes when I make them, it says, okay, you have certain chain of references or something does not cut bone. They are very, delicate. With extrusions, you can do with only one thing and it still works. But in this case, it's, yeah. Okay, and now I should have something for the extrusion. Now I need to create some sort of plane. Oh, but I can actually create it on a work plane. Create void extrusion, set pick a plane, and now I can set, let's say like this. Let's see if I get whatever I wanted, because I created my grid and that will help me. Yeah, it works wonderfully. Okay, that's great news. Section 2. Let's go to here. You have this edge, whatever. We have this space. Great. Now I just have to move something like this. Yeah. So I think I will quit using sweeps because they're problematic and instead relying on reference planes and whatever to do my job. Okay, now I have something. Yeah, I have my extrusion and that needs to be extended on both sides. And hooray, we have our volume. Not the most aesthetic, but we have something. Yeah. Yeah, supposedly we have something, but we have worked a lot to reach this. So, to conclude, we have to use only extrusions. And to mimic the sweep's behavior, we might use either some geometry that is perpendicular to the direction of the sweep, or we may use I don't know, a reference plane or a grid to guide our modeling. So yeah, basically that's it. And I think now I can move this a bit and the corner should be adjusted, I guess. Let's go to L1 and to check if it's really the case to move this stuff. No, it's enough. Yeah, it's enough actually. Okay, and I think I just need to modify a bit the profile. Yeah, something like to be aligned, let's say. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Uh, yeah, unfortunately it is visible. I have to accept that as is. Ah, yeah. Fortunately, I think I have to accept this small, let's say, compromise. Maybe I should extend this part a bit. I don't know. Let's see if it solves anything. Okay, this can be extended. Yeah, actually, I think this might. Yeah, I still have an edge that it's not completely covered, let's say. Yeah, I will accept, let's say, this defect, this small defect, and now I have my roof shapes. Let's check. Okay, now it looks better, but yeah, now it looks better, but the actual sweep. Oh, okay. Wow. The ankle is kind of steeper than expected. So where does my corner end? Something like on here. Okay, let's say it is. No, I will let it as is. Okay, okay, and what would be the ideal then? The ideal would tell me that I should have something like this, and to be something like this. Yeah, that what the ideal proportion. Okay, now let's say it should be right. Let's see in 3D how does that look like. Not too beautiful, but we will adjust the profile. Everything has to be adjusted. Let's go to section 2. Oh, and this slope should go around here. And let's see how it goes. Yes. Okay. And I think I'll draw on L1 a similar grid. Maybe create a sweep as well. Okay. Oh, and I will create a section as well. View section. I'll create on this grid and move it somewhere here and put it like this. I think this will be section 3. Okay. Okay, let's check the. Okay, this is the sweep. The sweep will come something like this. Okay. Yeah, I'll get rid of the sweep because it annoys me that it's imprecise. I hate I hate sweeps. So yeah, I got rid of the sweep and I work only with extrusions and void extrusions. They surely work, but to mimic the sweep's way, I told you, draw a grid and then you work on a section or a reference plane. And now I should define on section 3. Now I should set actually my void extrusion and set a work plane, and I set this grid, and when this is the same, and then when I go into section I'll draw my profile just as for sweep, but this time I don't won't have so many errors. Okay. uh, Extrusions are more permissive in general. Okay, now I think I have my volume, but it's kind of flattened, and now I need to drag these arrows, and let's see what we have now. Oh, far better job, and plus at least it's symmetric here, kind of, and I think now I have a better shape. Let's finish the model, let's save it, and let's check our south elevation. It's not quite exactly the shape, but looks far better. Now that's another business. I guess those sweeps were problematic, so I won't use sweeps in the future. That's the way it is, unfortunately. So modern, for working with generic models, if you want to do almost anything and not have geometric errors, use just extrusions and void extrusions. This will save you a lot of headaches. So there are some cases in which you might be required to use a sweep, but those are limited. Okay, so as much as possible, avoid these shapes. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied, let's say. Maybe I'll keep it as is for the moment, where I need to do some adjustments still, but let's check the picture, how it is. Let's open this image, save image as, okay, and let's open it. Okay, let's see how many slopes do I have. Oh, I have more slopes actually. I have one slope, two free slope, and oh, I think it's not a hexagon, it's an octagon actually. Yeah, it's kind of an octagon. Okay, that changes a bit the equation. It's an octagon actually. Okay, let's check some other pictures. Yeah, so uh, one, two. Here it's a bit ambiguous. Let's check open image in new tab. Don't I have this option? Yes. No, I don't have internet. Let's connect to internet and then research. Okay, let's go here downwards. No, it is hexagon. This remains a bit ambiguous. It starts maybe to bend, but it doesn't start. It's a bit. I'll leave it as is. Yeah, I leave it as is. This will be the tower, which will do. So yeah,